Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Key. My name is Key. And I am the social media manager of the Cognitive Center. And this is...
Out of Focus.
What about your name?
Oh, yeah. My name is Briana. I'm admin assistant at PHECC Cognitive Center.
Yeah. And this is Out of Focus.
Out of Focus.
We're so out of sync.
Sorry, I'm really nervous, guys.
We're so out of sync because this is Out of Focus, you know. Okay, so what is Out of Focus? What are we about?
Out of Focus is a podcast focused on mental health issues, and we bring mental health issues that are out of focus into focus.
Yes, that's a great explanation. I love that. Our topic today is social anxiety, but we're gonna first have Clarissa give us the question of the day.
So the question of the week is, what's one accomplishment are you most proud of and why?
What is one accomplishment that you're most proud of?
Accomplishment.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard. I don't know if I have many accomplishments. I guess I'm most proud of I don't know. Can you go first?
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about it.
I think I'll go first. I would say being the first college student in my family. I'm a first generation college student. Most of my family, they weren't given the same opportunities as me, and I'm very grateful for that. I know a lot of people, they end up going to college and they don't, they have like a lot of their parents or their grandparents that already went, but I'm really proud because I am the first one. So hopefully with this, I could set an example for my family, anyone younger than me, to see that it is possible to go to college.
Yeah, that's a good accomplishment. I like that too. I think it's very important to be able to be the first in your generation to set up an example, for sure. Then your future generation will also may follow in your footsteps as well to have a better career for themselves. I guess I'll just settle for my. I am very proud of all of my artwork that I've made in the past because I've used them to enter in contests and stuff. So I guess that's my proudest accomplishment is that I can actually win with the stuff I made. So yeah, that's a good accomplishment, right?
Yeah, I've never won a art contest, so
yeah.
She's very talented.
Oh, thanks.
Very talented.
Thank you. I drew some of the characters myself for this podcast. Okay, so the next order of business. Social anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
In layman's term, am I using that term right? Layman's term is, the fear of interacting with people, right? Kind of?
Yeah, your fear of how you interact with people, like in a social setting, I would say.
Yeah.
You just have like an overwhelming fear. It's not shyness. It's like more than that. Like you're afraid of like what would happen during like a social space, stuff like that, I would say.
Mm-hmm. So what is the non-layman's term? Like what is the official definition of social anxiety?
A phobia of social settings, I would say.
Yeah. So that would be kind of like the more official way. Okay.
Yeah, I could be wrong. So I don't know. I would say it's really close to that because with social anxiety, you have a fear of interacting with people or being in big crowds or just like maybe even I would say presentations
Oh yeah, yeah. Social anxiety and presentation. That's a big one. I think because a lot of people they do have to speak in front of a lot of people. Like even among your friends group, you have to speak in front of many of your friends, right? So you can get social anxiety from being in a personal group as well. It doesn't have to be in a public or outside of your home. Even like maybe in front of your family, you might even get social anxiety. I know I get social anxiety when I have to call people in front of my dad.
Why?
Yeah, because there's a lot of pressure to speak correctly.
To speak correctly?
Yeah, like you gotta talk to them in certain ways, follow an expectation that my dad had. So I guess social anxiety also have to like when you have social anxiety, you believe or you assume that people have expectation of what you should say and what you should look like or what you should act like. So then you become fearful of not meeting the expectation, and so you're not very comfortable with talking in front of them or having attention from them.
Yeah, I would say kind of like, I would say it's around that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because usually it's just that paralyzing fear. Like, people think of it like as just that shyness, like but like shyness, like you're just shy. You just get not like embarrassed or like it's not that you can't overcome it by simply like getting to know someone, I think.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like energy levels too. Like when you're shy, you don't have the matching energy level of the people who are much louder than you are, and it's hard to like get into the bubbles of the people who are already talking a lot, and they're already comfortable talking. And when you're shy, you're just kind of like there, and it's really hard to break into the bubble. But when you have social anxiety, you're there, and you don't even want to break into the bubble because you're afraid of being judged.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you have fear, like a real fear of going into that bubble. Like that bubble will hurt you. But when you're shy, you're just kind of like, yeah, I'm okay with just, sitting around that bubble and listening in. I'm not really like ready to interact yet, but I will be if someone pulls me in. But then when you have social anxiety and you're there, you're fearful. So any interaction from that bubble, like a person coming to you and trying to get you into that bubble, you will be very scared. Like you'll probably like overreact or catastrophize. Like, why is this person coming here for me? Like, why are they trying to get me into this conversation? I don't want to be here. Like I'm scared. Like I can't handle all of these attention onto me. And it sucks because I think social anxiety happens a lot.
Yeah, I would say it happens a lot, but it's not to the point where like a lot of people are like, I'm not sure about like the statistics about like social anxiety, but I know there's people that do have like social anxiety in like one setting, but they're okay in other settings.
I think it's like you can experience symptoms of social anxiety normally, like everyone can experience it, but when it gets to the point where you are in constant fear, it becomes a disorder.
Yeah.
But if it's just like something that you can manage, I think it should still be okay-ish. So it will be probably separated from like shyness and social anxiety. But like when you let it control you to the point where you cannot do anything about it, that becomes a disorder. So and then you get this social anxiety disorder.
Yeah, like it's with the disorder, it's like to the point where it's affecting you in all realms of your life, everywhere, like your family, your friends, your work, schooling. I know it can be very hard with social anxiety. I also wanted to pinpoint that a lot of people like they assume like people with social anxiety are like, jerks, or they're mean, or like they think that they're like too good for you, but it's not the way that it seems. I know from personal experience, I knew a guy from work. I would like I was a receptionist, so I would constantly say hi, hello, and greet people. And he wouldn't ever greet me back. I was like, oh, okay, but
Yeah.
like I would never take it like to the heart until like I got to know him, and he told me, oh yeah, like I just have like I get very paralyzed and I get like really fearful whenever like people approach me or tell me hello or greet me. I just don't say anything because I get very scared.
Yeah.
So that's like, don't judge a book by its cover. Like, once you get to know someone, you'll understand why they do the things that they do. And you'll be like, oh, okay, like it's not you, it's me.
Yeah, but it's kind of hard because a lot of people like from um our generation or my generation, I guess, millennials in general. When growing up, we were always taught, or not always, but like from my experience, I was kind of taught to stay away from the weird, quiet kids. So that probably I was probably kind of like the cause of many people with and their social anxiety, you know. But yeah, it's hard because when parent teaches their kids to be not friendly to like the quiet kids because they're worried the quiet kids might be, you know, dangerous or something. It just it's like fanning the fire or something, fanning oil to the fire or something, that kind of phrasing, and it hurts the kids with the social anxiety more. And I think in school it emphasizes social anxiety because of how teachers are always calling the kids out, you know. And there's no resolution to that problem or resolvement. I don't know. I'm using words I don't know, but you know, I'm doing my best. Yeah, but in a classroom environment, the teacher will call you out in front of this class, and there's no rewards to it, right? Like you're the only thing that you get from being called to the front of the class to answer a question that you don't know is you get embarrassed and you don't know, and it just reinforces the anxiety and fear that you've always been feeling, and then they keep doing that until you know you're all grown up, you graduated high school, you go to college, and then you have to do more public speaking, and it just gets worse and gets worse. And then people don't realize that people think that it's so it is actually kind of common to be fear of public speaking, right? Yeah. So people think that that's just the norm to the point where like they think if everybody have it, then it's not real. It's just a common thing. I feel like that's the generalization for it. Like it's not to everyone, but that's the generalization because it happens so much. And those people don't seek help. They don't seek therapy because they think everybody has it. I can manage it myself. I just don't have to talk to people anymore.
Yeah, of course. But the thing is, like, you do have to talk to people and communicate. Yeah. It's like a part of life. That's just how it is. And personally, I have dealt with social anxiety. I used to have a hard time at school. Getting up and like throwing away the trash or like answering questions for the teacher or like going to the bathroom or asking to go to the bathroom. It's like a paralyzing fear of like doing something wrong. Like you feel like you're constantly judged or like everyone's looking at you and like thinking like the worst of like every outcome, because I used to think, oh my gosh, like what if I trip? What if I fall? What if I say the wrong thing? What if I say the wrong answer?
Yeah.
But I think I've learned to overcome it by, you know, getting used to those like social interactions and getting used to being okay with being wrong. Yeah. Like it's okay to make mistakes. It's a part of life. That's how you learn, and you shouldn't have any shame in that. Yeah. Especially if growing up, I feel like anxiety also develops in your environment whenever you're constantly criticized and mocked or shamed for saying the wrong thing or speaking out on what you think, speaking your mind, and constantly being belittled for what you say. So it can develop that way. But there is treatment. You can go through therapy, especially CBT,
Yeah.
cognitive behavioral therapy. They teach you skills on how to manage your symptoms,
Yeah.
and I feel like it really does help
Yeah.
you overcome your social anxiety.
Yeah, we also have a couple of like CBT techniques that we have made videos on our TikToks.
Yes, check those out, guys, please.
Yeah, so the CBT techniques that we have is some of them is like journalism, and then keeping imagining the worst case scenario versus
The best case
the
scenario.
I'm not really sure.
I know there is breathing techniques on there, so
Yeah.
it does help with that. Like
Yeah.
whenever you're gonna,
Like, what's the worst that can happen?
yeah, like like catastrophic.
Okay, so
catastrophizing.
imagine a guy, right? He goes to the shop.
Yeah.
Yes, he goes to the shop to pick up. If I say tampon, is that too bad? Is that too much?
No.
No, yeah. Well, he's going to be picking up tampons for his girlfriend. Most guys, or generally, the media portrays guys as being really embarrassed.
Mhm.
Or like they get really nervous, you know, going to shop for things like that. And I think that's also a part of social anxiety, right? Anxiety, right? Because society made me this way. I mean, society has made it so that men's getting women's supplies is weird, right? They made that stigma on the men's. So the men gets anxiety because they don't want to be judged. They don't want to be like, or they don't want to come off as a creep, you know? Like, why are you a man buying, you know, feminine stuff, right? And it's so stupid because, of course, they're buying it for somebody. I mean, like, does it even matter if they buy it for themselves, you know? Like, it's 2022. But yeah, anyway, that type of thing is a stigma that we need to change. Like, we need to make it normal. We need to normalize it. Like, men can get things for themselves, their wives, their family, anybody that needs it, you know? Like, why are you even judging people for buying stuff? Like, mind your own business. Like, why? But because people are so judgy, that's why we develop social anxiety, right? Because we're just so afraid of people judging us.
Yeah.
And we need to learn how to, you know, care, not care less, but like be like more mindful of ourselves instead of being mindful of what other people thinks, you know. Like, you can care about what other people thinks, you know. Like, you can care about like going to work. You obviously have to dress up nicely. You can't dress up disheveled, right? You want to wear like a nice suit to work, right? To show that you're professional. So that's kind of like a standard. And but you don't have to be that fearful of it, okay? Like, you just try your best. Don't be scared. Like, you can wear a t-shirt to a work interview as long as it's not like super disheveled, you know. Show that you're taking care of yourself, and that's what we want. That's what most employers should technically want, you know. But, you know, some employers, you know,
Yeah.
we can't ask for much, but if they're doing their best to be understanding, that's great.
Yeah. Also, as well, I would like to stay like within that topic of like caring too much about what people think. I think that's also like a really big part of anxiety. You also pointed that out because it happens like but I think people should focus on like who you care about, like your family. Well, even then your family, like I feel like you need to focus on yourself instead of like constantly comparing yourself to others and
Your
making
family might judge you the most.
yeah, honestly, yeah.
But like, feel like they have good intention when, you know. Well,
But sometimes, you know,
it's like a toxic way, but, you know, toxic good intention. It's really weird. It's really hard to talk about that for me, especially because I have toxic way of coping with whatever mental instability that I have. So I'm not one to give that kind of like detailed advice. But
Mhm.
yeah, I do believe that some family they just need to acquire more knowledge on what mental health disorder can happen and what things there are now, like with scientific study. You can't let your mom be like, oh, I read this on the internet and now I'm a professional
Yeah.
I'm professionally diagnose you that you are not depressed. Can't let them do that. You have to
Yeah, of
let them
course.
read the DSM-5 or something.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course, because culturally it's like, it's stigmatized, like especially in the Mexican culture where it's like, oh, no, like you don't have a problem, you're just faking it, you're being lazy.
Yeah.
Oh, you're just being mean or whatever, whatever. But it's like you're not. It's an actual disorder. It's an actual you're having like a hard time with social settings or mental health issues, and it needs to be addressed, and it can be extremely difficult to address it if someone is constantly criticizing you or belittling you and telling you that it's not real, but it is real and there is help, and you shouldn't be feel ashamed for reaching out to get help.
Yeah, I think it's just really hard because people don't communicate very well with each other,
Mm-hmm.
and some people even refuse to communicate, and they don't realize it. Like
Mm-hmm.
they like they're so fearful of being judged. They don't want to communicate, but they do need to communicate, and it's really hard to learn how to do that. It's not
Mm-hmm.
that easy. Yeah, overall, it's just not very easy to tackle your mental health.
Yeah, of course. So if you're having issues that are like really affecting your life, like from my perspective and from personal experience, it was really hard for me whenever I in school because my social anxiety was so bad to the point where I wouldn't ask questions to the teacher at
Yeah.
all because I felt like stupid or dumb, or like I was asking the wrong questions because it should be so obvious, right?
Mm.
But that hindered me from actually like getting like good grades and like realizing like actually understanding the material. And that's also like a big part of that. And if that's happening to you, like please go and reach out to mental health services, or you know it, you if it's really affecting you that badly, please ask for help.
Yeah.
And point as well is like a lot of people that don't deal with mental health issues,
Yeah.
they kind of see it as you being um, mean or thinking you're too good for
Yeah.
people.
No, they think
So
that you're rude. They think that you're uh very hard to talk to overall. Yeah.
yeah, of course, like, and then they're like usually a lot of people with that aren't neurodivergent, they tend to just include themselves in the conversation. So it's like that obstacle where it's like, you overthink and you're trying to find the right thing to say, and then you're cut off, and then your internal belief about yourself is reinforced. So then
Yeah.
it's just a never ending cycle.
Yeah. And it's tough because there's a lot of people and not everyone is equally, like cultured. I'm just kidding. Not everyone has the I want to say everyone does have access to the internet, but not everyone is diligent enough to
Mm-hmm.
seek out this knowledge to help someone, right? A
Yeah.
lot of people are self-invested, and that's fine. You want to be self-invested, you want to do good for yourself, but then a lot of people will make other people feel this way. So the only thing you can do to combat against that kind of people is to just work on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Do your best to help yourself to deal with these variety of people, because not everyone is out to get you, but it will feel like everyone is out to get you.
Yeah, of course. It's like not a lot of people are educated on like mental health disorders. So it can come across like that you're like just a rude person, but you're
Yeah.
really not. You're dealing with so many issues, and like it's hard enough to try and include yourself into social settings, and
Yeah.
it's tough. It's tough out here.
Like what my boss always say, you're not here to be liked. You're here to do great things
Yeah.
first, and then being liked come later. Anyway, that was a good talk on social anxiety. Yeah, we did a lot of things. We discussed what social anxiety was, generally is. We did discuss about what the actual definition, like more official almost. And then what else did we talk about?
I talked about personal experiences with
Personal
social anxiety.
experience. Yeah.
And then the Reddit post.
Yeah. So let us know what you guys think about this story in particular, like the Reddit story that we just talked about. Leave a comment about it, and then we'll probably talk about it in our next podcast as well. Like do a little bit of flashback and discuss it. And yeah, just let us know what your personal experience like, or if you have any feedback for us, on what we talk about.
Please leave us some suggestions or topics about what you would want us to talk about next in the next podcast. And also as well, what is an accomplishment that you are proud of?
Yeah.
Please leave it in the comments below. We'd
Yeah.
love to read it.
And follow our social media, because we have a great we have great content on there that can help you. Like we do have a lot of CBT info on there as well, and we're always posting daily as well. But
also, also as well, we provide mental health services. Please go to our page if you are interested in registering with our program, pheccinc.com. There should be at the homepage register right here. Also, we have a newsletter. Also, we have a lot of videos on YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn. Connect with all of us. On our social media.
I'm just kidding. We're not out for you. We're here to deliver resources to help, and we will take in any kind of feedback and suggestions to make everything better. Even if you have any issues, hopefully no issues, just friendly concerns, and just let us know. Thank you. And this is out of focus. Yep. Thank you for watching.